And weapons at a home in Butler, Missouri this morning.
We've got some pretty decent roads now after some slick spots this morning, and it's going to stay cold for the next several days. Well, I'll break down your forecast coming up.
And traveling by land or air this Thanksgiving, we kick off your holiday travel forecast.
4 states' most watched news starts now.
Law enforcement seized narcotics, cash, and guns during a drug bust this morning in southwest Missouri. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Tanya Bach. Topping our first 7 minutes. Early this morning, the Bates County Sheriff Emergency Response Team served a search warrant in Butler, Missouri. Sheriff Chad Anderson says the extensive drug investigation targeted a convicted felon at the home on the 400 block of South Mechanic. Now, officers took 4 people into custody and seized heroin, shrooms, and field-tested fentanyl. They also found a sizable amount of cash and multiple firearms. Joplin firefighters respond to an early morning blaze on the 400 block of West 31st Street. It happened just before 6 a.m. in a detached garage, one that was designed to park a large RV inside. City workers blocked off West 31st so crews could run hoses from nearby hydrants. After about 45 minutes, the first responders had the fire under control. City of Pittsburgh has a new fire chief, Taylor Cerny. The Altamont, Kansas native joined the Pittsburgh Fire Department in March of 2005. He's held multiple positions with the PFD, most recently as battalion chief. Chief Cerny replaces former fire chief Dennis Riley, who announced his retirement earlier this year. Well, the 4 states has received its first snow. Chris Warner joins us with a first look at the forecast.
Yeah, some of our counties out west picked up upwards of an inch of snow. Joplin officially recorded about a 1/4 inch of snow, so not a ton of it, the white stuff falling, but a nice first taste of snowfall for the season. However, it's still a bit early for it because as you can see, our normal high is supposed to be 59 with a normal low of 37, and we still have not been anywhere near that. Skywatch Storm Tracker just showing us the clouds, but if you look out into southeast Kansas, the clouds are progressively clearing. And as they do so, we'll have some partly cloudy skies as the evening goes on. It's a little bit chilly out there, though. 35 Joplin, Pittsburgh, 39 Parsons, 40 in Chanute, 39 in Neodesha, where they've seen a little more sunlight, but even with that light breeze, it still feels kind of cold. 31 in Neodesha, feels like 30 in Parsons, feels like 26 in Webb City and Carthage. As we go through today, we're not warming up a ton. We're looking at a high in Joplin right around 40 degrees. And then, like I said, the clouds will begin to clear out of here eventually and leave us with those partly cloudy skies. However, how long is it going to stay cold? That's an excellent question we're going to give the answer to here shortly. And of course, don't forget to download the Skywatch weather app. You can scan that QR code there or go to your favorite app store and search for KOAM Skywatch Weather. That way you have the latest weather data wherever you are, whenever you're not watching KOAM News. The cold weather is sticking around for a few more days, but there's good news on the way. We're going to break that all down here in just a few minutes.
All right. Thank you, Chris. Well, Thanksgiving is just over a week away, and AAA predicts almost 55 million people will travel for the holiday. That would be the busiest Thanksgiving since 2019. The vast majority of Americans will drive, but air travel is expected to jump 8%. However, as Chris Van Cleve reports, with inflation and rising costs, some people are planning to skip a holiday trip and stay home.
You want some cucumbers?
Normally, Sharon Herreri would be getting ready for the annual Thanksgiving family fly-in. Nearly 24 relatives meeting somewhere in the country to celebrate the holiday together.
Flights are too expensive.
But this year, surging airfare prompted Herreri to postpone her trip.
It's sad that I'm not going to be, with my sisters and my brother and my mom, and they'll all be together. I am going to miss everybody.
Still, AAA expects nearly 55 million people will travel this Thanksgiving. That's up 1.5% from last year and nearly back to pre-pandemic levels. The vast majority will drive. But air travel is forecasted to jump nearly 8%. And with cruise lines back in business, AAA predicts cruise, bus, and train travel will jump 23% over last year.
The desire for people to get back together with loved ones, they're going to do it no matter what the cost. They're going to budget in other areas of their life, but travel doesn't appear to be one of them.
Gas prices are about 36 cents a gallon higher than a year ago. That's up about 10%. According to NerdWallet, car rentals are a bit cheaper than last year, but have climbed 47% since October 2019, and hotels are up 6% from last October. Airfare last month rose 3.5% over September and was up 43% compared to last October. Several airports across the country have warned they may run out of open parking spaces, so are encouraging people to book their parking spaces ahead of time. The busiest day to drive expected to be Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Reagan National Airport, Virginia.
Well, as families continue to struggle under the weight of inflation and economic uncertainty, many are faced with food insecurity this holiday season. To help meet the need, our Fox 14 and CW stations have once again teamed up with Wesco Home Furnishings for the 19th annual Feed the Four States food drive. And our KOAM Toy Box campaign is also underway. Since 1988, four-state residents have helped KOAM make Christmas brighter for thousands of area families. And once again, we invite you to join us in one of the area's largest toy drives to benefit families in need in Southeast Kansas, Southwest Missouri, and Northeast Oklahoma. And you can find more information on our partner drop-off locations and donation links to both of those on our website and KOAM News app. That's a look at today's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Up next on KOAM News at noon.
Former President Trump is pushing ahead with his big announcement today. I'm Bradley Blackburn near Mar-a-Lago with supporters ready for a presidential run and other Republicans who hope he'll wait.
And later, we're making easy holiday side dishes in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Former President Donald Trump is teasing a big announcement from his Florida club and home tonight. Supporters hope that means a run for the White House, but some in the GOP see the underwhelming midterm results as a sign the former president should remain that way. Bradley Blackburn has the latest from West Palm Beach.
Outside Mar-a-Lago today, supporters are already flying Trump 2024 flags and eagerly awaiting word. You're hoping he runs for president?
I'm hoping he runs for president. That's what we're looking for.
I'm going to be making a very big announcement.
For months, the former president has been dropping hints he wants his old job back. And sources close to Donald Trump tell CBS News he intends to launch his 2024 presidential campaign tonight from Mar-a-Lago. This comes on the heels of disappointing GOP results in the midterms, with some important Trump-backed candidates losing to Democrats.
Donald Trump kept saying, we're going to be winning so much, we'll get tired of winning. I'm tired of losing. I mean, that's all he's done.
Anticipating tonight's announcement, President Biden tweeted a new ad hitting his predecessor on what's now Biden's signature legislation.
I want to rebuild our infrastructure first. Infrastructure.
Trump also brings legal baggage to a potential candidacy, including his handling of classified documents that followed him all the way here to Mar-a-Lago and the New York Attorney General's investigation into his business practices. But there are other things Trump has that potential rivals don't. Nearly $100 million in campaign funds, a devoted base of at least 30% in any 2024 primary contest, a full digital operation with more than 50 million voter contacts, and support at state and local party levels.
He comes into this not just as the biggest name in the party, but with the biggest bank account. And that's certainly something he'll use to his advantage.
Announcing early could pressure potential GOP rivals, like former VP Mike Pence or Governors Ron DeSantis of Florida and Glenn Youngkin of Virginia, to move faster, or it could scare them off. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
And just yesterday, the former president defied a subpoena from the Select House Committee investigating the January 6th attack. He's suing to avoid testifying. Still to come on the KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Looking to make your holiday feast stress-free? Today, I've got some tips that you're not going to want to miss. Oh, did I say they're tasty too? They are.
And we are looking at the opportunity to return to seasonable temperatures before too much longer. We'll break it all down in your forecast next. Well, we had a pretty chilly start to the day, and it's really not warming up all that much. In fact, our afternoon high isn't going to be very warm either. So it's hard to believe that at some point we are going to return to normal, but believe it or not, we will. So right now, the Skywatch Storm Tracker shows us those clouds hanging out around here. And they will eventually be exiting. For our friends in southeast Kansas, they're already on their way out, and eventually they'll get on out of here and leave us with some partly cloudy skies. We want to show you this map. I think we've only used it once before. As we get closer to the end of the week and the holiday travel season, we'll be able to bring you airport weather delays across the country. So right now, we don't have any. It's not that it's not working, it's just there's no weather delays, but that's also an important thing to point out about this particular map is it only highlights weather delays. So if there's storm systems or anything like that creating delays at any of the select airports, we'll be able to let you know as we head into the holiday travel season, which it's hard to believe Thanksgiving is already right around the corner. Future track as we head into the afternoon. As promised, these clouds are slow to get out of here, but they will. So here's the contrast, though. If you are in the sunshine, you may even get into the lower 40s, but those of us stuck under the clouds for a good portion of the day aren't going to warm up nearly as much as we head through the afternoon, but we're going to remain dry. We don't have any precipitation with these clouds, despite how they look. It's just straight up cloudy, and it looks just miserable outside, doesn't it? It looks like a dreary, wintry day, and it feels like one too. 35 right now in Joplin, cloudy, northwest wind at 14, making it feel like it is 26 degrees, and it's still pretty chilly across most of the area. 39 Neodesha and Parsons, 37 Chetopa, Miami, 36 Carthage and Monette, and you factor in that north-northwest breeze, it makes it feel a little colder. 31 Neodesha, 30 in Parsons, feels like 26 in Carthage, and feels like 27 in Neosho. As we go through today, believe it or not, we're still expected on the southwest Missouri side, or at least in Joplin, to reach a high of about 40 degrees. But again, those of you in southeast Kansas getting a little more sunshine, maybe a couple of degrees warmer than that. Clouds will clear, will be partly cloudy. All of us will be partly cloudy as we head into the overnight hours, and we will get cold. 24 for the overnight low. Big look at the future track. You'll see there's systems that dance around us as we go through the next several days, but they do not come up into our neighborhood. But it does stay cold over the next several days, but it doesn't stay cold forever. I want to remind folks, like we talked about at the beginning of the show, these are about where our lows are supposed to be right now. I know it seems kind of crazy, but these are supposed to be our lows. That's how cold we are and how cold we have been. We're only 35 tomorrow under partly cloudy skies. We stay cold until we get to Saturday. And we see a slight warm-up, 48. And then finally, by Sunday and Monday of next week, we start to return to normal. So we get out of these frigid nights and chilly days and start to warm up. In fact, next week, we get socked in with some rain chances, but our temperatures start to return to where they're supposed to be this time of year, into the 50s and near 60 degrees, which also means that our overnight lows start to get back to where they're supposed to be. So we got just a few more days of these really cold days and nights, and then we'll finally get to be a little bit on the normal side.
Looking forward to a little warm up because we're gonna have some cold nights ahead of us the next few days, that's for sure.
Yeah, we're 21 tomorrow night, so that doesn't help. And of course, 36 on Friday, 22 Friday night, some of the coldest days and nights of the week. But as you can see, if we can hold on just a little longer, some average temperatures are coming in here and some additional rain chances. And we've been seeing some improvements on the drought tracker, and hopefully we'll continue to see some improvements.
We'll keep an eye on all of that. All right, thanks, Chris. We take this time to honor today's four-state hero, Specialist Christopher Carriger in the U.S. Army. The Webb City native joined the 1138th Military Police Company in 1994. He served tours in Kuwait, Iraq, and in Qatar. Christopher Carriger, we thank you, our four-state hero. If you're entertaining over the holidays, you know that shortcuts are a must. And Howard shows us a handful of ideas that will make your holiday get-togethers stress-free in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
With all the holiday gatherings, there's a lot of pressure on us to make sure that everything is just right. So to help us out, let me share a handful of ideas that start with a few refrigerated and frozen shortcuts that'll make any holiday get-together stress-free. Since no holiday feast is complete without mashed potatoes, here's an idea. Mix a bit of butter and sour cream into a container of refrigerated mashed potatoes. Place them in a casserole dish and bake them off. Before serving them, finish them with some shredded cheddar and a few scallions. And if sweet potatoes are a must on your holiday table, try topping a container of refrigerated store-bought ones with a mixture of flour, butter, brown sugar, and pecans for a Southern favorite that is always welcome. Rather than serving plain old stuffing, why not add some crumbled refrigerated or frozen sausage to it, along with some chopped onions? Want to make it meat-free? Use a plant-based sausage. And if you're tight on oven space, go ahead, use your slow cooker. With roasted veggies being all the rage, toss some frozen Brussels sprouts, onions, and butternut squash with a bit of olive oil and a few seasoning. Then pop them in your air fryer, and before serving it, we finish it with crumbled bacon, and you'll have a side dish that'll be the hit of the holidays. When you team all of these with your favorite main dish, you're good to go. To get these recipe ideas that start with a few freezer and refrigerated staples, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. With these easy shortcuts, your holiday feast is sure to deliver lots of, ooh, it's so good.
I'm inviting Howard over for Thanksgiving dinner for sure. You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Here's a look at our 4-state market prices.
Well, we've still got some cold days and cold nights ahead of us as we are only 35 tomorrow, 43 Thursday, 36 Friday. But as we head into next week, we see a return to normal. Temperatures warming back into the 50s.
What do we have coming up tonight at 5?
A lot at 5. For starters, a new report from the American Lung Association. It shows a lot of Americans who are eligible are not getting life-saving screening for lung cancer. We'll have more on that story for you in Health Watch. Plus, we're going to take you to Operation Playground, where Freeman Health is conducting a full-scale pediatric gunshot victims exercise. And we look at how rising food prices are expected to affect holiday dinners all across the 4 states. So join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up today on KOAM News at 5.
All right. Thank you, Dow. Thanks for joining us for KOAM News at Noon. We'll see you right back here at 5 o'clock.